I never thought I'd be in a full-blown war with my neighbor, but here we are. It all started when my new neighbor, let's call him Kevin, decided to move in next door. At first, everything seemed fine. He was a bit loud, hosted a few too many late-night parties, but I figured, hey, he's just settling in. I was trying to be the nice, welcoming neighbor. But that all changed the day I came home to find construction workers on his property, building something that looked suspiciously like a balcony. And guess where it was pointing? Right over my backyard. I went over, politely, and asked him what was going on. He just smirked and said he was adding a scenic overlook to his house. I pointed out that his scenic overlook was directly above my private garden, where my kids play. He literally shrugged and said, better view for me, I guess. The nerve. I tried to reason with him, explaining zoning laws and property lines, but he just waved me off, saying his contractor handled all the permits. He was so smug, so certain he could do whatever he wanted. That was his first mistake. Underestimating me was his second. My first call was to the city planning department. I explained the situation, and the person on the phone sounded concerned. They promised to look into the permits for his address. A few days went by, and I didn't hear anything. Meanwhile, the balcony was nearly finished. It was a massive, ugly structure that completely dominated my yard, casting a huge shadow and killing my prize-winning roses. Kevin would stand up there in the evenings, beer in hand, looking down on us like he was king of the castle. It was infuriating. My peaceful sanctuary was gone. I called the city again, and this time, I got a different clerk who was much more helpful. She dug into the records and found something interesting. Kevin did have a permit, but it was for a small, decorative Juliet balcony, not the monstrosity he was actually building. The dimensions were completely off. He had built something 3 times the permitted size, and it illegally encroached over my property line. Bingo. The clerk told me an inspector would be sent out immediately. The next day, a city official showed up, clipboard in hand. I watched from my window as he measured everything, shook his head, and slapped a big red stop work order on the half-finished balcony. You should have seen the look on Kevin's face. He came storming over to my house, yelling about how I was ruining his life. I just calmly told him he should have followed the rules. The city gave him 2 options: tear it down or face massive daily fines. For a week, he tried to fight it, but the city wasn't budging. The fines started piling up. Finally, defeated, he hired a demolition crew. The best day was watching them tear that ugly thing down. Piece by piece, the sound of saws and hammers was music to my ears. Now, my backyard is mine again. My roses are recovering, and Kevin doesn't even make eye contact. A little bit of research and a few phone calls were all it took. Never let a bully walk all over you, especially when they're trying to do it from a balcony they built over your property. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.